What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's 2017. It's the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. It's my first Raw review of the new year. It's January 2nd, 2017. This is my Raw review. Tonight, Raw was not war. That's for damn sure. It was not Raw as war. Maybe Zayn and Braun, the last man standing. Maybe that was kind of Raw, but it was a good last man standing match. I'm not gonna be that picky because it was a decent last man standing match. Here to read my Twitter poll, asking everybody on Twitter to rate tonight's Raw, the first one of the new year. Let's get my Twitter results, poll results, waiting for them to show up. So maybe they won't show up. Anyways, let me click on this tweet to get them to show up. Page decided not to work here. Anyways, let's try again. Reload the page. Raw started off with Mick Foley, the general manager of Raw, talking about he had a new haircut first off, and he did his cheap pop. He almost said, he said it as a joke, we're live from Jacksonville, Florida, but instead he said, no, we're in Tampa, Florida. So anyway, here are the Twitter. By the way, Bailey is trending #1 in the world, or United States trends. Bailey's #1 right now. I don't know why Bailey's #1, but good for her. Probably because she became the #1 contender tonight. Rate the first Raw of 2017. What's winning so far is D-. 39% gave it a D-. 35% gave it a C. 26% gave it a B. So there are the poll results for my first Raw. Rate tonight's first Raw 2017. There were the poll results. Now back to the review. Mick Foley had a new haircut. He dropped a lot of weight. He looked too skinny to me. But good for him, good for his health. I'm sure it's better for him in the long run. So Mick Foley looked really skinny. Had a new haircut, shorter haircut. That made him look about 10 years younger. So good for Mick Foley. That he'll probably be able to move better. He'll be more healthy, and he has a new haircut. He even looks younger. So he's cutting a promo, and then out comes, of course, Kevin Owens. Music hits. Out comes Kevin Owens and his BFF, Chris Jericho. They come out, and then the GM Mick Foley says he's giving Kevin Owens, he says, we're talking that you think this is your show, that Raw is the Kevin Owens show. Well, Mick Foley says, I'm going to give you your own show tonight. I'm going to give you the Kevin Owens show. It will be your first episode, and your guest is Goldberg. Goldberg's your guest. Out comes Stephanie McMahon, and she brings up how SmackDown Live, I don't know why she'd bring this up, but probably did on purpose to get the fans excited that there is a true wrestling war and a true rivalry going on between Raw and SmackDown. I'm sure Vince likes it because he doesn't have any competition. Ring of Honor is not competition. Ring of Honor is probably going to be raided from WWE in a couple years. So Ring of Honor, to me, it's a great company. They have great talent, but they're just like a minor league to NXT or to the main roster. I'm happy Ring of Honor exists, and they're doing well. They're still on pay-per-view. But Ring of Honor is a minor league. They're not WWE's competitor. TNA's not their competitor. Lucha Underground's not WWE's competitor. Nobody is competing with WWE, in my opinion. Nobody can compete with them, so Vince is probably happy that SmackDown's doing well. doing better than Raw, at least in the fans' eyes, it's doing better. And in the ratings, last week, SmackDown Live, for the first time since the brand split, SmackDown beat Raw in the ratings. So Vince is probably happy. He's probably cracking himself up that, I don't know, that Raw and SmackDown are competing with each other, because the guy has no competition. He's probably bored. He's probably really bored with the wrestling business because he owns it. So why Vince has to create his own competition. NXT is kind of competition, but not really. But some fans like NXT more than the main roster, so they choose to watch only NXT. Some don't even watch NXT. Some have the network and don't even watch it. I don't know what their problem is, but that's really stupid. If you have the network and you never watch NXT, that's stupid of you. So, Stephanie mentions in her promo, I don't know, probably to light a fire under Raw, try to get, I don't know, some competition going, trying to get a wrestling war going, even though Vince owns everything. Stephanie mentions, last week I'm embarrassed because last week SmackDown Live beat us in the ratings for the first time. Also, in Chicago, SmackDown outdrew Raw by a couple hundred or a couple thousand people. They outdrew Raw in attendance. So that's good for SmackDown Live. Anyway, SmackDown Live is kicking ass. We all know that. To me, SmackDown Live owns Monday Night Raw. So, up next, the first match, and then Stephanie even mentioned that they beat us and we're in a ratings war. No, you're not in a ratings war. I guess you are, but you're on the same network. Whatever. I don't know how fans see it, as if Raw and SmackDown are really different and competing with each other. I don't really see them as competing with each other. I just see SmackDown as better. So, the first match of the night, I think Mick Foley or Stephanie made it, was Kevin Owens against Seth Rollins, because we didn't see that match enough times at the end of 2016, did we? Yes, we did. This is like probably the 6th or 7th match I've seen them go at it one-on-one, and I'm pretty tired of it. The loser is banned from ringside for the U.S. title match when Roman Reigns must defend against Chris Jericho. And that tonight, that was like at least the 5th Reigns-Jericho matchup that we were going to see. So Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, they had a good match. Kevin Owens gets himself disqualified like a stupid idiot. He gets DQ'd, so he's banned from the U.S. title match. He probably did it on purpose, because he didn't want to help Jericho at ringside. And I guarantee you, probably at the Royal Rumble, or after it, Kevin Owens is going to attack Jericho and beat the crap out of him. So, Seth Rollins wins by DQ when Kevin Owens uses the ring bell like a stupid idiot. Kevin Owens, the guy's a great worker, great talker, but I'm getting kind of sick of him. I don't know why, I just am. Up next, we had Cesaro, one half of the tag champs. Cesaro taking on Carl Anderson. Pretty good match. Sadly, what I hated about it, and this is what I thought of Sheamus on commentary. That's what I thought of Sheamus on commentary. I did not like it. I don't want to hear the guy talk. The guy's making my ears bleed. So I put the TV on mute, because I did not want to hear Sheamus. He was on commentary, sadly, and God, he's awful to listen to. So I had to put the TV on mute, so I wouldn't hear him. Anyways, Cesaro loses to Carl Anderson. Cesaro loses, so I'm pretty sure Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, they're going to get a tag title shot at the Royal Rumble. I probably be on the kickoff. If I was to guess, it would probably be a tag title match on the kickoff show, because the kickoff's probably going to be 2 hours. I guarantee you it's probably going to be 2 hours. And the Rumble will probably be 4 hours. Or hopefully it's not 4 hours. Because then I'll probably go 3.5 hours. And that's too long of a pay-per-view. Up next we had Last Man Standing. Last Man Standing, Braun Strowman against Sami Zayn. This match was the match of the night. Pretty damn entertaining. Good Last Man Standing match. Before the Last Man Standing, we had a highlight video of Goldberg at Survivor Series destroying Lesnar in 1:26. And then we had highlights of Goldberg on Raw saying Stephanie told him, "You look like you have one more title run," and Goldberg says, "Yes, I do," and he entered himself into the Rumble. So then we had the Last Man Standing match. Sami Zayn, right away in the beginning, gets a Singapore cane and is caning Braun non-stop, caning him over and over. And Braun, the guy's a monster. The guy's just a monster. He looks like a monster. The guy looks scary as hell. Like he could crush anybody's head. So Zayn keeps trying to fight back, keeps getting tossed around, thrown around. They end up going backstage. And Zayn's back is all red and bruised up from getting beaten up badly. So they go backstage. They're fighting backstage. Again, Braun is tossing and throwing around Sami Zayn backstage, throwing him on top of, what are those called? Those giant cases that they hold equipment and wires in. He's throwing them onto cases, throwing them all over backstage, throwing them, tossing them all over, all around the backstage, tossing Sami Zayn around like a salad. So then Zayn picks up a chair. I believe backstage he found it or somewhere. Zayn picks up a chair, tries to hit Braun. He picked up looked like a pipe. Hit Braun in the face with a pipe, kind of. Braun kind of blocked it. So we saw chairs, pipes, and Singapore canes during this match. Then they go back to the arena. Zayn gets thrown onto the stage. The guy can barely stand. Keeps trying to fight back. And they call him the underdog from the underground. Well, he could barely fight back. Anyways, he was trying to pick up a chair. Braun was stepping on a chair, wouldn't let him. But then Braun kept getting hit with chair shots, and he went to the edge of the stage. It was only like a 5-foot drop, or 4-foot drop. At the edge of the stage, Braun is staggered, about to fall, and Sami Zayn goes running, does a high cross body press through a table, takes Braun down with him. They both go through a table, but Braun takes most of the punishment. So that was a nice move. Off the stage, high cross body press to Braun. So then Braun is up really quick after that. They try to count to 10. He's up real quick. And then Zayn is up too. Following him, Braun tosses Zayn on the stage. Just tosses him. And Zayn does a flip on the stage near the ring. Zayn is going to be... He's going to be really beat up tomorrow when he tries to get out of bed. He's going to be sore as hell. So then another chair shot. But Braun keeps... Zayn is down this time. But, anyways, Zayn kept using the chair a lot against Braun. But Zayn is now laid out. At ringside, he can't even get up. The ref's counting him out. Braun picks him up, beats on his chest a couple times, lays him back down. The ref counts again. Braun picks him up, does a running power slam on the floor. Zayn is out. He's not getting up. The match is over. Last man standing winner, Braun Strowman, wins it. So then he attacks Sami Zayn after the match. Paramedics come down. Mick Foley comes down. I don't know what they're doing, what they're building towards between Mick Foley and Zayn. Probably Zayn's going to probably snap and just jump to SmackDown. But Mick booking Zayn in a last man standing match, you knew he's going to get destroyed, and every fan probably knew it too. Sami Zayn definitely belongs on SmackDown Live. He should be there. He belongs there. He'd fit in better. So he gets attacked after the match. The stretcher gets knocked over. It was pretty funny. Up next we had... What was next? I believe Jack Gallagher backstage with the New Day. Jack Gallagher backstage with the New Day. That was a pretty funny segment. And it was quick. And then they said, up next is the New Day and their New Year's resolutions. That was, I don't know what that meant, but I knew it was going to be a good segment. During the New Day's promo, in the ring, out comes Titus O'Neil. Before he came out, I was already cracking up because he was screaming on the microphone, "Here comes the Titus brand," and stuff like that. He was doing a New Day's gimmick, but it was Titus. So then Titus is out on the stage, and he starts talking about how about the Titus brand joins New Day, and he wanted to join New Day basically. But Xavier Woods gets on the mic and says to Titus, "Your whistle," and then Titus started blowing his whistle like the New Day's theme, and Woods basically owned him on the mic. And Woods said he'd rather see his face on the back of a milk carton. That was damn funny. Like saying, we'd rather see your face missing on the back of a milk carton than have you in New Day or something like that. I forgot really, but that's the line. He said it was damn funny. So then Xavier Woods basically challenges Titus, or one of them challenged each other to a matchup. Titus O'Neil versus Xavier Woods, and that was the best thing in years and years that Titus has done. That segment with the New Day, to me, it was entertaining. So that is the best thing they could have had Titus do. Because before this, they didn't have him do anything. He was trying to push his Titus brand in backstage segments, but nobody cared. At least he's involved with a promo battle and a match. At least he had a match against the New Day. New Day is still super over. Even if they try to turn heel, I still think the New Day would be cheered. So Xavier Woods wins, defeats Titus O'Neil, and that was their match. Up next we had, and also before the match, Xavier Woods says to Titus, "Oh honey," like stop it, you're not going to join the New Day. That was pretty damn funny, calling him "oh honey." Up next we had a Bayley and Stephanie promo. Bayley backstage talking to Stephanie, and Stephanie basically started ripping Bayley, and Stephanie went full-fledged heel on Bayley. I don't know what Stephanie is, a face or a heel, but she went full heel on Bayley and said, "I never wanted you on Raw. Mick Foley wanted you on Raw. I didn't want you here. You're not a star. Basically, you're not a star, and you can't be a champion of Raw." So Stephanie does not like Bayley. That's what I learned. So after that segment with Bayley and Stephanie, it was a good promo. Bayley got to talk a lot. It was good to hear from her. Up next, we had Noam Dar. Not Noam Dar. Noam Dar was with Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak against Cedric Alexander, cruiserweight action. Noam Dar was at ringside. Alicia Fox was at ringside with her so-called boyfriend, Cedric Alexander. Drew Gulak wins, and that was a cruiserweight match. We would have another one of the night later. Another cruiserweight match later on. I don't know where they're going with Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. They're going with Noam Dar is probably going to get Alicia Fox, and she'll turn on Cedric Alexander. Last week on 205 Live, if you didn't watch it, last week Alicia bitch slapped Noam Dar really hard, and then he just wiped his face and he goes, "Can I have another, please?" And she slapped him again. That had to hurt. 2 slaps from Alicia Fox to Noam Dar on 205 Live last week. Up next we had before the match with Cedric Alexander and Drew Gulak before it, Noam Dar called Alicia Fox Sweet Cheeks, if you want to know. He called her Sweet Cheeks. So up next we had, what was next? U.S. title match, I believe was next. I think it was next. U.S. title match. If Roman Reigns gets counted out or DQ'd, he loses the U.S. title. So I was happy to hear that. Roman Reigns defending against Chris Jericho. If Reigns, again, is DQ'd or counted out, he would lose the U.S. title. Y2J Reigns, again, have a pretty good match. It was entertaining. It was kicking off hour 3. And the fans are pretty into it. And at one point, you had a Superman punch get hit on Jericho, and Jericho actually kicked out. I was surprised by that, and I was happy about that. But then the referee, Jericho, did the old Eddie Guerrero move where Eddie would throw a chair at his opponent or throw a belt at his opponent. The ref would see him holding the chair or belt, and the ref would disqualify Eddie Guerrero's opponent. So Jericho did that move. Maybe it's a tribute to Eddie. Hopefully it was. So Jericho throws the U.S. title. Roman Reigns is holding it. The referee turns around, looks at him, sees Reigns holding the U.S. title. Jericho's laid out. It was a great move to do that in the match. Great spot. So the ref's saying about to disqualify Reigns, but Reigns is talking himself out of getting DQ'd. You stupid referee. You should have DQ'd Reigns. I don't know why he didn't get DQ'd, but he didn't. Probably because he's Super Roman, and he's the guy. He is the guy. Anyways, he didn't get DQ'd. And then Roman ends up hitting a spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins. Super Roman wins. Retains U.S. title. Next we had Bayley. No, I think. What was next? Next was T.J. Perkins against Brian Kendrick. Kendrick wins, I believe. I kind of forgot. I think Kendrick wins against TJP. Then after that, we had Big Cass taking on in a handicap match because Enzo's still in a wheelchair for some reason. He did get beat down pretty bad, but get him out of that wheelchair by next week. So Enzo couldn't wrestle. So Cass went at it alone. Handicap match, Cass against Rusev and Jinder Mahal. I forgot Jinder Mahal even existed and was in the company, but I guess he is. So Rusev and Jinder Mahal win, and the match was very quick. It was probably under 4 minutes, it felt like. So whatever. I thought Big Cass would win, but I was dead wrong. So after that, Rusev, Jinder Mahal win. After that, we had the women's match for the spot to get a title shot at the Royal Rumble. Bayley against Nia Jax. The winner would go to the Rumble to face Charlotte the Queen. Charlotte came out first. She was on commentary. It was good to hear from the champ on commentary. Bayley, Nia Jax had a pretty good match. Could have been longer, could have been better, but it was what it was. I really like Bayley. I like Sasha more. Sasha is my number one favorite, but I really, really like Bayley. I really like Sasha. But I really like Charlotte too. They're all great. Even Nia Jax. I really like Nia Jax. She has a lot of potential. So Bayley wins, defeats Nia Jax. Bayley, Sasha's music hit. I tweeted it out on Twitter that, I don't know why I went like this, for Twitter. I tweeted it out before the match even started. I said Sasha will interfere and cost Nia Jax a match. And she did. Sasha's music hit. She came out, was on the stage. Nia got distracted. Then Nia got hit with the belly to belly. Or belly to belly, whatever it's called. And Bayley wins because Sasha distracted her, basically. Sasha distracted Nia Jax. Bayley wins. Bayley goes to the Rumble to get the title shot against Charlotte. Will Charlotte win? Yes. She'll win and she'll retain at the Rumble. Charlotte might even win at WrestleMania to keep her pay-per-view streak alive. I wouldn't doubt it that, I wouldn't doubt it at all. I'm going to predict right now. Charlotte will retain at WrestleMania and stay undefeated on pay-per-views. And she'll probably win at Fastlane and what is the other pay-per-view? Royal Rumble, Fastlane, and then WrestleMania, I believe. Elimination Chamber, maybe that's a SmackDown pay-per-view. But Charlotte will win at WrestleMania 33 and stay and keep her undefeated streak alive and stay women's champion, I believe. But good for Bayley. She's going to the Rumble to get her first ever title shot on a pay-per-view. Up next was the main event. But it wasn't a match, it was a segment. It was the debut of the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens and Jericho come out. They actually had a guy standing in the ring. I'm sure he works for WWE. Some guy in a Kevin Owens show. The Kevin Owens show t-shirt. He had a giant sign on his head. A giant cardboard sign that said the Kevin Owens show. Wearing it on his head. That was damn funny. So some guy just standing there like this with a giant sign over his head that said the Kevin Owens show. That was great. So then we had, I wrote some stuff down and it was said, Kevin Owens, first off, there were some chants Before Goldberg came out, there were some chants from the crowd. They were chanting, Goldberg, Goldberg. And Jericho said, you know what, Tampa? You know what? And the crowds already knew it was going to happen. Jericho says, you just made the list. And the crowd, of course, popped. And then Owens ripped the crowd and said, you're a bunch of idiots. You just cheered getting put on the list. You're idiots. So then Jericho announces, before Goldberg comes out, Jericho says to Kevin Owens, I am announcing myself that I am in the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens doesn't look happy. Of course, this is going to lead to their breakup probably right after the Royal Rumble. They'll probably break up and start feuding going into WrestleMania. So Jericho says, I'm entering myself in the Rumble, and then we can both main event WrestleMania, and I can win the Universal title, and we'll both still be Universal Champion. And then Owens doesn't like the idea. Owens was upset about it. He goes, no. He goes, I don't want to fight my friend at WrestleMania, stuff like that. But Jericho wants to go for the Universal title. I could see Jericho winning the Royal Rumble. Will he? Probably not, but I could see him winning it. I still think Undertaker's going to win. Anyways, Jericho announces he is throwing his name, he's throwing himself in the Royal Rumble along with Brock and Goldberg. And there'll probably be other big names to announce. Probably like next week, The Undertaker is going on Raw. I thought Undertaker was SmackDown, but Undertaker's showing up on Raw for some reason. Look, he's under WWE contract, so it doesn't really matter, but Undertaker cut that promo before Survivor Series saying how I'm Team SmackDown, and I always have been. Well, whatever. Undertaker's the Godfather. He can go on any show he wants. He can go on Raw and SmackDown at the same time. I'm not going to complain about it. So Taker returns next week, along with a guest appearance by Shawn Michaels. I don't know what Shawn Michaels is going to announce. Maybe he'll announce he's going to be in the Rumble. I won't doubt that because it's in San Antonio. So I guarantee you next week Undertaker announces he's throwing his name in the Rumble also. So then Owens doesn't like it, and Jericho and Owens are facing off And then Goldberg's music hits. Goldberg comes out, gets pretty good reaction. Goldberg then is about to get put on the list of Jericho, and Goldberg goes up in Jericho's face and says, or Jericho says, you know what, Goldberg, I'm about to put you on the list, you know what? And then Goldberg goes up to Jericho and says, spear, like, I'm going to spear you if you put me on the list. And he goes up to Owens and says, jackhammer. And then basically Goldberg also said, Jericho, you're first in the Rumble. You're first guy he's going to go after. I doubt Goldberg will go after Jericho first, so Brock will definitely go after Goldberg. I know that. Because Brock got embarrassed at Survivor Series. That was an embarrassing loss. So anyways, then Goldberg, still talking to Mike Owens, gets in his face and says, you think throwing around furniture makes you scary? I'm not intimidated. He goes, I can throw around furniture too. And Owens picks up his table and chairs and throws them out of the ring. That was kind of stupid to do that, but anyways, and Goldberg is still facing off with Owens, saying, hey champ, you want to take a shot at me? Go ahead, take a shot at me, bring it. And then Roman Reigns' music hit. A lot of the crowd booed. He got some cheers, but not many. So Reigns comes out, and I was done seeing Reigns. It was enough of him for the night, but he had to show up again in the main event segment. So then Reigns comes out, and I really believe they did this on purpose. They brought Reigns out to be next to Goldberg so Reigns could get cheered, because Goldberg gets cheered. I don't know. WWE probably thinks, let's put Reigns next to Goldberg and maybe the fans will start cheering him. No, that's not going to work. It's too far gone already. So, anyways, the fans are really sick of Reigns as a babyface. I know I am. And I do not want to see him win the Universal title, and definitely don't want to see him as a double champion. I do not want to see him with the US and Universal title at the same time. That would be fucking ridiculous. So Reigns comes out, faces off with Jericho, Owens, and Goldberg. And then Goldberg and Reigns go face to face and have a face off for a while. And then Paul Heyman shows up. Paul Heyman appears and tells them all that Brock is coming into the Rumble to conquer, eat, sleep, conquer, eliminate, repeat. And then he kept repeating himself, eliminate, repeat, stuff like that. That's what Heyman said. And then after Heyman, out comes Braun Strowman. And then Braun is standing in the ring. Reigns and Goldberg are right next to each other. Braun is in front of them. And then Goldberg and Reigns are looking at each other. And this was a pretty cool way to end Raw. They're looking at each other and they go like this. Then they run double spear, Braun Strowman, double spear. So Braun gets double speared by Goldberg and Reigns. And then Monday Night Raw comes to an end. If I rate this episode on a grading system, I would give it... There's been way worse Raws with less star power. I mean, this Raw had a last man standing match, which was a match of the night, and probably the best and most entertaining thing that happened. So last man standing was good. Titus and New Day segment was good and damn funny. And the Kevin Owens show, I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed Goldberg and Reigns hitting a double spear on Braun. I enjoyed that. It was good build-up, especially before Raw ended. It was good build-up, more build-up to the Royal Rumble match. They're treating the Rumble match like it should be the main event. And it better be the main event of the pay-per-view. So I like how they're treating and pushing the Royal Rumble 2017 match. I give Raw a C. I give it a C. Hope you enjoyed my first Raw review of 2017. Everybody, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Hopefully you enjoyed this first Raw review of 2017. There will be many, many more. I'll be doing a Raw review next week because of Undertaker and Shawn Michaels appearing on the show. So there it is. A lot more Raw reviews to come before WrestleMania. I'll be doing a lot more than just one a month. A lot more, especially in March. Probably the entire month of March, I will do Raw reviews every week. Hope you enjoyed this one. Raw still 3 hours, over 3 hours. It was decent, a C show. It was a C show, but still felt really way too long. That's why I like SmackDown Live better. Plus, their show just flows and goes together way, way better. Bye for now, everybody. Follow me on Twitter at WWE NXT Guy, and subscribe, like, share, comment on my videos. I appreciate it. And follow me on Twitter on my other account at NXT WWE Guy. Here is the first Raw 2017 is in the books. My first video of 2017 is in the books. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week.